come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, girls. How my
Hey.
grandma's girls doing?
We are doing good. How are you doing?
Hey, girl. I'm
Look
doing
at Linda.
fantastic.
Linda got the glow on her.
I'm doing so much better.
I know,
you
right?
look amazing.
Woo, it's been a month.
It's I know, but it's all good though.
Good.
It's all happening. We're here, the 4 Sisters Live -1. You know, we got our sister Peg.
She's on her way.
She's coming. She's out. You know, we're always out in the public supporting and doing something. So, woo!
I know you guys stay on the road. See, hey, Charlene, you're out there as well. So we know you and Peg are out there doing some great things, community related, supporting each other, supporting everybody. You know how y'all do. So it's all good. Nothing new. I think everybody's used to us saying, "Oh, they somewhere."
Yes.
So I mean, it's good though. It's all wonderful.
I mean, you can't be a part of the community if you're not there. And we are a part of the community, and we like to know what you're doing. And if you know something, a place that we need to be, just get in touch.
They're somewhere. We don't know where, but they're somewhere.
Yeah, right. We're always searching and looking for
places
to serve in our community and how we can help. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know. Well, see, today it's appropriate because it's our education mentoring day. So it's Charlene's day. So Charlene has some great things going on. I know she got some great things to talk to us about and share. So we're open and ready to receive it. But we're just here for another Saturday, guys. It's amazing how these weeks go by.
Woo, yes.
It's amazing.
So fast. So fast, so furious.
And I think the reason why is because we're doing so much, so we don't have time to look at the clock and the calendar at the same time.
At the same time, right? But when you're doing great things, time's moving. So God is moving, and we're moving, and He's helping us to do what we do. And so I'm grateful. I'm not complaining at all.
I am not. No.
I will not. I shall not complain. But again, we're here to share some good news with our listeners. So come on in, y'all. Come on in, share.
Please like and share. Wake up the algorithms or whatever they call them, so that
I know.
So we can get more people to find out exactly what's going on, because we're going to have a hot show, right, Charlene?
This is a very hot show. This is the educational segment of Sisters for Sisters Network, but also 4SistersLIVE, and we have special guests, Lori Dorsey, and a couple of other great, distinctive people right here in the Maryland area. So I look forward to having them show up and share with us what they're doing here in Maryland. I mean, they're doing it all over the world, but right here in Maryland is so much more important to me right now. So anyway, and they're going to talk about mental health. So that's seriously cool, but we're going to get specific and talk about teenage mental health. So go on and like and share this post right now. Go on and share, because someone needs to hear this. Bring on your teenage boy or young girls and let them know that a scholarship fair is going to be happening. So we're going to have information about how to enroll in college, how to prepare for the scholarships. All types of information is going to be going on today, and you don't want to miss it. So around about 12:20, 12:30, just go line them up, get in, because we're always talking fun stuff here. You know, me, Linda, Peggy, and Wyoming. I'm telling you, we have lots to talk about, but today is educational day. So you got to get those teenagers on the show. You got to get them listening, because these women are pioneers, what I consider pioneers in the educational field, seriously. But anyway, we'll talk about them a little later, because I'm hyping them up now. But I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. You better to go start sharing. I talk about people who have given away over $15 million worth of scholarships. Yeah, like $15 million worth of scholarships, if not even more. And that's just in one area. That's just the D&D area.
That's hot. That's a lot right there. I mean, and even that sounds a lot, Charlene. But I can't wait until we get
so go on to share, go on to like.
I look forward to
Yeah.
this show every year. So this is
Yes.
the biggest show because this is where the money is. So you do want to be here. You do want to tell your family and friends that I want to go to college and I want to know how I'm going to get the money. This is the show you want it to be on. Call all the kids.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that. But right now, what's going on in your world, girls? What's up, Land? You know how we do. We got to tell the people what's been going on.
Oh, well, yes. Well, I'm finally got over my health issues this last week. And so I'm feeling good. I'm ready to get out there and get back out in the community. And I'm feeling pretty good. You know, it's just been, you know, sometimes you have to rest. Our bodies are not meant to go on and on and on and on and on, just like your car is not meant to go on and on and on and on. So every now and then when that engine check light comes on, you need to pay attention. And that's what I've done. After my trip to South Africa and Dubai, I was just, and everything I did before that, it came down to a point that my body said, you broken.
Yeah.
So I had to rest. And I did rest totally, stayed in, made the soup, you know, took all the vitamins, just totally rested. So that's what I've done. I feel I'm ready to go now. And hey, that's what it takes. You really got to pay attention to your body.
Yeah, you really do.
You really do.
We're glad that you're really back into yourself because we know how it is when you're not yourself. You can't get out. You can't go. You don't even want to go. You don't even want to get out the bed.
Didn't want to. I couldn't. Every check got in, I went to sleep anyway. It didn't matter.
Oh, yeah. That's your body saying just rest and slow down. I like that. I like when my body says sit down. I'm like, okay, because sometimes you don't listen to your body, but when you sick, it's amazing how it just makes you melt into a chair, melt into a bed, melt into the pillow, and you're like, you're at its mercy.
Yes.
So
pay attention.
I think you should.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you feel better. I'm glad you have the remedies because you are the wellness queen. And we already know you. Hey, you didn't drug yourself up. You vitamined yourself up. And yeah, you mix some herbs.
And I ate the right foods. The most important thing, you know, you take your vitamins, but you really need to look up the foods that you need to eat to help you along. And that's what I did. I started Googling, what do I need for this? What do I need for that? And it told me. And I said, oh, yeah, that's right. This is what I need to do. So pay attention. You got that Google in your hand. Google what you need when you're sick, because it will tell you what you need to go to the store and eat, to get the vitamins naturally, because that's how God made us.
That makes sense, Lynn. That makes a lot of sense. And people don't think about that when in there in the moment. They just want to call the doctor or just feel like, what do I need to do? And they start popping a lot of pills and stuff. But when you really want to know what it takes to heal your body, that's a good suggestion. That's
you got to do. That's what I did because I couldn't think. My head was so stopped up and everything. I said, well, I just got to. And you know what? And when that chicken soup, as soon as I went to the store and got me one little piece of chicken so I could boil it, and I put those onions in it and that garlic and peppers and everything, the next day I felt better. So that chicken soup still works.
It's something about that chicken soup, right?
Something about, and that's what my Google told me to do. And it tells you all the vitamins that you're getting from this chicken soup. I said, oh, that's why it works.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Yay. So Charlene, what's been going on in your world, girl?
Well, right now, anyway, but not right now, but all this week has been an amazing week. And gosh, I don't know. It's just been an amazing week. I'm accepting, new businesses and new opportunities to help people and really understand this big thing called mental health. I never thought that me going from public affairs to understanding mental health was going to be a big deal until it actually, took place in my own family, and then watching God, start opening up other doors as we, migrate sort of, or kind of, we're in the flow of media right now with Jada Pickett and Will Smith. And I think it's so funny
Did
how
you go to
God
that
allowed.
event last night? Did you go?
Yeah, well, it was Friday night.
Well,
It was Thursday night.
it was Thursday night
was
at the Howard Theater.
Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday. But I didn't go anywhere Friday.
Right.
Yeah, I think that, so it was Thursday night, and then Wednesday night she was in Baltimore, so I didn't go to that one. On Wednesday she was there in Baltimore, discussing the book, and Will did a surprise, welcoming there. So I was like, oh, cool. I wish I was there, but I'm glad I was at the one in DC because I need to hear clearly what was going on, because I felt called, with all the criticism going on about, what are her motives. If you're very in tune to just what is going on with people, you can now clearly see that there is mental illness that she has dealt with, and you can read in her book. So I'm not saying something to just sparge her name or discredit her name or anything. She says it herself she says it, and then it's like short-lived, right? But it is said throughout the book. Anytime someone is trying to commit suicide since they've been in their 20s, having, demeaning thoughts about who they are with all the money they have. Like, so these depression, signs of depression, signs of psychosis, signs of suicide, all these things that she talk about are definitely, signs of, they are evident of mental illness. And I just find it funny how God just brings you full circle. But it's also good that I got to see her mom. I love Gammy. Oh, I love that lady. She is amazing. And I got to look at her from me as a mother. She may not agree with everything that her daughter has done in the past, but she does understand that this is a health thing, because Gammy is actually a nurse. She's a certified nurse. And so maybe she's not mental illness, but she do know the signs of illness or whatever. And so I was very proud. I had a different perspective when I went to go see Jada, because now I'm looking at her mom. I'm not looking at her. I'm looking at from a mother's heart. That's how I looked at her. I'm like, oh, this is touchy. Because once you meet the mom, you like, oh my God, like, I feel bad. Like, because mom really knows something else is deeper.
You're freezing.
You're freezing up.
That's going on. And she has to be there for her child. And I have to be that auntie to say, okay, I can't judge outwardly. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what happened. And so when you asked me about my week, it's like it's this full circle of me realizing where I'm going to go next in my life, like what's happening next in my life. And that's just continue a path of human rights, continue a path of empathy and listening to other people, and not trying to understand, just being understandable. Like, again, we don't understand everything and we don't agree with everything, and we don't have to agree. Let's get that right. No one has to agree, but we do have to be empathetic in a sense and say, okay, I understand, but I don't understand, right? And it's okay to say I don't understand, right? It's totally. So yeah, so probably months ago, a year ago, I gotten certified right during COVID. I got certified through mental health, and then I got another certification in it, and I was like, wow. And to be able to recognize these, I'm like, whoa, there it is. Like, that's it. That's what they were talking about. Like, so anyway, but that's how my week was.
This is what I take from it, and we're going to get into it another time, because there's so much surrounding this conversation. Everybody has an opinion, and everyone has their own outlook and their viewpoint on someone else's life, someone else's marriage, someone else what they should and shouldn't be doing. And there are clear what we say the word principles. There are clear principles that is written about all of this. It's
right.
Clear.
100%.
That's
It
true.
really is. And so we can have all the opinions we want about anybody else's situation. When you experience these things, it becomes a whole different dynamic. It's a whole different dynamic. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to be said to this. You said the word mental health. It's all
real.
about And it's really real in any one situation. And one thing I'll take away from this, and we can move on to our next step here. Money does not cure it all.
You hear that? You hear that?
You have more to deal with because you have money.
Well, they thought it'll fix all. This is a serious conversation. They thought that it'll fix all, and a lot of stores thought it would fix all or remedy all. They end up getting on drugs, alcohol or drugs, and they just medicate themselves. Money does not fix all. You fix all. You have to go within you.
You have to do as Alana Yana said. You got to do the work.
You got to do the work. She was there. She was there Friday. She was sitting front row with us. She was there, and I thought that was very instrumental, and it was very symbolic for her to be there. I thought that was just I was so happy to see her in a sense, you know, because we all need help.
Ayana was there. Who was there? Ayana was there.
She was there.
That was awesome.
I would love to hear her take on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if Yana spoke about anything, or she was just there in the audience to take up and soak up everything.
She was just there in the audience just to support. Debbie Allen was the interviewer, so she was there, and Debbie, you know, shared her opinions, which is Debbie's like an auntie, like you and I, and she helped Jada to grow up in a sense in this acting industry. So she kind of was a little protective about, you know what people were saying about her, like it's their life, just let them live it, you know, like an auntie would say, you know, but that's just what it is. I think Ayana is going to be very frank, you know, you're going to have to continue to do the work, and Jada's not shy away from that. She said, I got some more work to do on this journey.
That's
now,
right.
Spirituality wise, you know, how people decide to tap into all that stuff. I'm not that person, so don't ask me, because I'll tell you I don't believe in sorcery and stuff like that. I believe in the blood of Jesus and Jesus Christ. So I think that can take you farther than you want to go, and it'll keep you longer than you want to be kept. And I'll keep that right there. So you want to deal with mental illness, start messing and stuff that you can't deal with. Okay, so that's just my take. But
well, Charlene, and then the other thing that has really taken our world, our lives, our minds, and this is social media. This social media is dangerous. It's dangerous.
Absolutely.
It has created so many things that has mentally messed people up all the way around. Mentally, people are really suffering. All of us. And if you're into it and you're reading it, it will take you out. It will mess your mind up.
It's hypnotic. It's hypnotic, and they've done studies on it. When you wake up and the phone is beside your bed, that is messing with your psyche in so many levels. That anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, and we're going to get into
whole nother health issue.
It is.
I just want people to be healthy.
Because we're talking about mental illness today, that's part of it. That's going to be a part of the conversation. What's going on with our youth and what's happening with our young people, because this is pretty much
why it's happening to our young people.
This is their go-to.
Yeah.
This is their go-to. And is it part of the education? Yes, it is.
We got to educate people. We cannot shy away from it, especially in the Black community. People are like, don't say Black is everywhere. No, it's Black. It was taboo for us to go see a therapist. It was taboo for us to, want to say psychologist. I need to go see a psychoanalyst or something. Like, it was taboo. They were trying to cast demons out of us in church. Like, I don't have a demon. I have depression.
Even the ministers really was teaching you that. It's like, what? No.
Right. Why my
the minister needs to go. The minister gets all this information from their parishioners and persons in that church. And it's just, it's not humanly possible to solve all their problems, and you got to solve yours too.
Come on, Linda.
You intake all of that, and then you're overwhelmed and you're not trained for it. So you start giving out bad information. So that's what has happened in the Black church.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What's going on in your world? Because we don't want to forget about you, and then we'll move on to come back to this conversation about the teens. But let me find out what's going on with you, what happened this week, and then we'll come back, and then we'll shout out birthdays and go right back into this topic, guys. What's going on, Wami?
Oh, because a lot of nice and wonderful things are happening right now, Charlene and Linda. But I will be able to share and announce that like next week. I'm gonna wait until next week to announce the
Okay.
wonderful
Okay.
things that
Fair
God has.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough, right?
Fair enough.
But for right now, God has just been good. I've been just really just in the moments and just being able to bask in the things that are happening and just being at peace. I'm telling you, I just got to sit down and relax and be at peace and just be in the world where God has. And sometimes you have to do that, guys. You have to sit down, be still, and listen.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Be all
Absolutely.
over the place
Absolutely.
for the past several weeks and months of just all over the place doing this, doing that. You all know my life, my background, and everything. So I'm just at a place of peace. I'm at a place of sitting down and just listening and watching God unfold some wonderful things that I will announce next week.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Well, we got to say hey to Susan. Hey to Sharon. God bless you. And we still
Hey
giving
guys,
you
hey
love
ladies.
hugs.
How y'all
Susan.
doing?
Susan.
Thanks for watching. Go and find some more
Sharon.
folks for us. Hey, go
Hey,
and tell
hey.
them
Dr.
that this is
Tashika,
going to be an
hello.
awesome show. Hey, Dr. Tanisha.
And let's say happy birthday right quick, guys. We want to
Sure.
say happy birthday to all
Anybody
the
celebrating
October
a birthday?
babies.
October.
Yes.
Yay, yay.
Whose
October it
birthday is
is.
in October? Woo!
Happy birthday to all of those who are celebrating a birthday. All the all of
To
us.
everybody.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Keep celebrating.
Absolutely. I had a niece. Her name is Bernicia. Bernicia celebrated a birthday on the 18th. Dr. Renee.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Renee
Yeah,
Allen.
Dr. Renee Allen. She just
Yes, her
celebrated
birthday.
her birthday as well. I think Tashika, Tashika celebrated her birthday.
Oh, real? Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Celebrate. Y'all help us out. You help us out. Put some names in the
Put
chat.
some names in the
It
chat.
is. It was
Whose
last
birthday
night
is in October?
along with Lance London. Lance London.
Lance London, yes, he did.
Oh, that's
Birthday.
right. Lance of Carolina. What's it? Carolina chicken?
Carolina Kitchen. So
yeah, Carolina
all
Kitchen, not chicken. I think about chicken. Carolina Kitchen.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
So what's happening in our hot picks, Charlene? Dante? Yes. This is the College Trade and Scholarship Expo that's going to be happening.
Happy birthday.
Hey there, happy birthday.
I think Dante Trade.
I think this college fair.
Was it 27th?
I think you froze up, Charlene.
Yeah.
I'm frozen.
You were frozen, so you're delayed.
Oh, I'm frozen. Okay, so yeah, the College and Trade and Scholarship Expo is going to be happening in Baltimore, and then another one is going to be happening in the Lanham area. So on the 27th is in Baltimore. This is Scholarship Expo, but you get to hear more about it with our guest today. So snap this picture. Go on 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then this is the Baltimore. If you don't want to know Baltimore, here go DMV. Lanham, snap the picture.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
3. This is the one that y'all want to go to because y'all know Baltimore and DC don't go to each other's stuff. So that's why they had 2 separate events for Will and Jada. Okay, anyway, this is another shout out. But anyway, so these 2 events are going to be where you should bring your kids, your seniors, so they can get that scholarship money. They give scholarships on the spot. Make sure that
you have the information that you need. So make sure you go to that website so that you know what to bring so that you're qualified yourself to get the money. That's all they ask you.
Absolutely.
They want you to, that's all they ask you. So
that's all
your homework before you go. Don't just show up. Go do your homework first.
Well taken.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's go on and roll right into a conversation and go back to this conversation. So we're going to be bringing
now before we get to that, Charlene, I think we had what we talking about today was the mental health, and you wanted to show this video. Let's show that so that we can stay on course about this mental health. Get into that.
Yes,
and then we'll
1,000%.
Okay, we're good, Dante. Let's go. Thanks.
According to the National Education Association, 7 out of every 10 high school students currently suffer from anxiety and depression today. For context, nearly 50 years ago, depression was considered a rare condition, according to the United States Library of Medicine. In a 2009 study conducted by the American Psychological Association, nearly 45% of high school students were found to be stressed out by school pressures. That is nearly half of all students in the nation, and that number will climb unless we do something about it. Back in February of 2020, I was suffering from severe anxiety and depression, insomnia, and disordered eating. I was also a 4.0 student who was involved in more extracurriculars than you could count and had a pretty stable life. Yet I was still contemplating taking my own. I know that my story is not an anomaly for high school students these days. I know that millions of teenagers are having these feelings and mental health issues at this very moment. I know that many have died due to the pressures placed upon them by society. Though no one knows for sure, as every case is different, there are at least 3 suspected significant factors for a lack of mental health in teenagers. One that is not necessarily mentioned as often as it should be is what is known as peer competition. Peer competition is the notion that kids who have grown up together are now being forced to compete against each other. Who will get the big scholarship from the school, who will get a spot at a certain university, or who will make varsity? Now, all these questions probably seem really silly, but take a step back and realize that for over a decade, we teach these children that when it comes to the 16 to 18-year range, they need to make the major decisions on what they want to do for the rest of their lives. A scholarship in this case could mean money to attend a better university or to not be in crippling debt for the rest of your life. A varsity position could be a one-way ticket to a full ride, and a spot at a certain university could be the head start to your career. We teach these adolescents that in the most hormonal, drama-filled, and hectic time of their lives, they need to make the major decisions on what they want to do for the rest of it. The real question is, who wouldn't be stressed?
Wow.
Ooh, very good question.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be stressed at this time? Yeah, I didn't know what that felt like, guys. To be
We're
honest,
all
I didn't
stressed.
know that. Yeah, I mean, when I went to college, I didn't get to feel that because my parents weren't really like, my daddy was very good. I was a first generation college student. So my daddy was like, you're going to college. And he didn't put no pressure on me. He actually paid to find me a list of scholarship information. And I lived in North Carolina, and I got a scholarship from Joe Dudley, who used to own Dudley Hair Products, and a tennis scholarship. And I'm like, I wasn't even that good, right? But because I had a daddy who said, you're going to do it, you know, like you can do it. I didn't believe I could do it. I was just happy that I was going to do it. So there wasn't much stress on me because I've always been like optimistic, so to speak. So, but I do see a lot of parents pushing their kids to Ivy League and other schools, and it can be a break. And I even found myself with my son between 16 and 17 telling him, you got to study more. You got to get the SAT. You got to get a tutor. You got to go to the boys club. You got to join. Like, you got to do all this thing because now your resume got to look good. We got to start a nonprofit. You want to walk a dog? You want to walk old people? What do you want to do? What are you going to do? Like,
it's pressure.
I was guilty.
It's
I was
pressure.
guilty of that until I just said, you know, this is not cool. And I was like, whoa, he looked at me like, you know,
and it's
but I've seen worse.
It's overwhelming to them. It's overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. And since the pandemic, it has gotten even more.
Yes.
A lot has happened with our students, in particular our kids in college. So it's a lot that they have to contend with right now. It's different than when we were going to school, what was going on back in the day when we had to go to college or even get a scholarship. So much pressure on our kids to just do this, do that. And then amid the pandemic again, there's so much that they have to still deal with, not only to deal with the school, but they got to deal with the home, they got to deal with the community, they got to deal with their peers, they have to deal with trying to survive, and then they have to deal with what's being in front of them that they don't even know how to handle here. They're not mature enough.
And they're so worried about catch up because they lost 2 years. So that catching up is affecting them now. Because
and they're talking about that. That's
what's affecting them because they're putting unnecessary pressure on them, and it wasn't their fault. And so now But look at these kids that are out of control, that have completely lost it and not in school. They'd rather rob and kill and shoot. That affected them too. That's a part of that same group. So it's a lot of pressure on young adults right now and teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring on Dr. Dorsey and our guest, Maisha, I believe, and we're going to get them in.
Let's come up with some solutions.
Dr.
We got a
Laura,
solution with Dr. Dorsey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So you hear us over here having a conversation, and we want you to chime in. I know. Okay. So what we're going to do is definitely have you to help us understand some things that you want us to know, and how in your walk in this life and with our students out there, give us an intake on what's happening. First of all, introduce yourself to our audience, because you're just a phenomenal woman in yourself. So we want you to just introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are first.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I am Dr. Laura Dorsey. I'm part of Sisters for Sisters Network Incorporated, of course, but I'm also the executive director of Horace Scholars, which is the primary sponsor for our scholarship fair this weekend. And I have my own organization, LLD Scholars, which helps prepare the students be able to go to the scholarship fair. So just to, chime in on your conversation, one of the reasons that this event is so important is just exactly what you're talking about. Students are so pressed with so many choices. Social media is bombarding so many different things at them, and sometimes they don't know where to go for correct information. And that's what we're doing for next week on Friday and Saturday. We're providing our students with resources that they need in order to be successful, and something that they don't necessarily have to find on the internet, that they can stand directly in front of a college representative to be able to talk about their career choices. In addition, we're adding a caveat this year because we realize that everybody does not want to go to school for a 4-year degree. And there are plenty of careers that don't require a 4-year degree to be successful. So we're going to have a lot of the trade areas too, where people can make $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 a year without a 4-year degree. If we give our students options, then we reduce that mental health issue that you all have been talking about.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I think first of all, we want to just give kudos to you, the organization, for doing this, and salute you here on this platform, and let you know how much we appreciate. Somebody got to do the work.
Yes, absolutely.
Somebody got to do the work, Charlene.
Absolutely. Somebody has to do the work. And I have been watching Dr. Dorsey and her team do the work. I've been watching Sisters for Sisters Network come by her side to help to do the work. Just showing up means a lot when you have great companies like Horace, educating our kids about what to do and what not to do and how to prepare. It truly means a lot. So for the past 2 months, I've been with Dr. Dorsey and the Madam President, Peggy Morris, and watching them go to Baltimore and local areas right here in Maryland, and actually share information on how to prepare them for their actual SAT, ACT, their interviews, right? Their mindset. Dr. Dorsey is just more than just an educator, for these kids. She's more than just a person that's saying, here is your scholarship. Like, to me, she's actually holding their hands, providing them with the information and the roadmap to actually succeed to get to college. And she's the negotiator for getting all the colleges there to say, we got babies out here that need your money. So come on, I got the babies, you bring the money. And that's pretty much what she's doing. So if you are not at either one of these fairs, like I'm not judging you, but I'm judging you because when my son gets into 12th grade, I already know he's in good hands. Okay. With Allstate, Dr. Dorsey. Okay, cool. But guys, seriously, this is a serious matter. for you to be there, even if you're not a senior. But I'd like to ask Dr. Dorsey this. Dr. Dorsey, can you talk to them about some of the things that one of the scholarship preparation events that we just recently left that you actually put on with, I can't think of her name now, so forgive me, a couple of other of your partners, and what that entailed?
Well, one of the things that, like you said, I appreciate all the accolades that are given to me, but I can't do this by myself. It doesn't get done in a vacuum. And the thing is that I can talk to the colleges. There are 5,000 colleges across the country. There are 100 in our network that travel with us on a regular basis. What I don't know is the community and the schools, and that's what I depend on our local community organizers and resources to do. In Baltimore, Maisha and Elder Rudy from Set the Captives Free Church, for the past 2 or 3 years, where we've been doing it in Prince George's County, they've been asking me to come to Baltimore. And I've been saying, no, I don't know the Baltimore area. Well, when Madam President Peggy Morris said, we need to go to Baltimore, and then they were asking me to go to Baltimore, that's fine. But they are actually doing a lot of the work. They're making sure that the schools in Baltimore, again, I'm not from the area, the schools in Baltimore, the actual superintendent from the school district in Baltimore will actually be at the event on Friday. We have schools who recognize the value of this, and they're busing students in on Friday. So it is just a win-win situation. Wonderful. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to stay. The college reps are going to stay in the afternoon, so parents, when they get off work, can actually come to in the afternoon if the students didn't get bused there. But this is a community-wide effort that we do, and as Charlene says, it is a national program that we run. So, and here's the thing too, sometimes it's not always what you know, it's who you know, and how you be able to expand that. So 2 years ago, when we were doing this, someone called me and said, hey, can you do this in New Orleans? And I was like, I don't know anybody. Well, Josephine, who was part of our group here, made a telephone call to New Orleans. And now New Orleans, this is their second, third year that they're doing it. Someone then called me and said, hey, you know what? We want to do something in Houston. I don't know anybody in Houston. Well, Dr. LeBand from New Orleans introduced me to some people in Houston, and then that's why we're doing Houston. Josephine also called Southern Christian Leadership Conference. The national organization is in Atlanta. Well, guess what? Now we're going to Atlanta too. So the expansion is just because we're spreading the word and people are seeing the value of it, and that's what we're doing here.
That is awesome.
That really is.
That is awesome. Kudos. Yes.
Thank you.
But Dr. Dorsey, it is important that we spread this all over the world. It should be global. Yes. It is so important because, as we always say, our youth is our future. So we got to make sure that they get educated to understand what they need. And what they need funding. They need scholarships. They need resources. Yes. And they need people like you and others who are going to help them get to that place that they needed, because a parent, especially a single parent, is hard for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'd like to,
and especially first generation parents. We're not even just talking about single parents. First generation parents navigating the scholarship process or whatever. It's like doing your taxes. Most people don't do their own taxes; they have somebody do it for them. But yet, you're going to let a 17-year-old navigate the financial system of a school or whatever. The FAFSA can be as difficult to fill out as your taxes. Somebody needs to be there to help them. And even though I can't be everything to everybody, what I can do is make sure I provide you the resources to be able to know what it takes to be successful. That's what we do.
Can I ask you a question? What is it that the students have to bring with them when they come? What should they be preparing now when they come to you?
Okay. First of all, let me tell you, and again, this is just my thing. And like Charlene says, I pretty much try to hold their hands. It takes over $100,000 to get a 4-year degree in a perfect world. So if you come in and ask somebody for $100,000, you need to look like it. Right. My students need to be dressed appropriately to ask for $100,000.
Wow.
When you come dressed appropriately, you should have in your hand a portfolio. And that portfolio should include a copy of your transcripts, your high school transcripts. An unofficial copy is just fine. A copy of your ACT or SAT scores. If you have not taken the test, that's fine. If your scores are not where you need it to be, that's fine. The college will tell you exactly what you're looking for. And then as a prior retired English teacher, I think they should have an essay saying, a one-page essay about why I want to go to college. The rep is not going to read it right then and there, but if you can write it, you can articulate it. So when the reps ask you, why do you want to go to college? You don't have to hem and haw and say, I don't know, because you've already written it down. And if you have 5 of these portfolios in your hand that you can hand to the college reps, that you can tell your story to, that's just a win-win situation.
Awesome. I hope everyone heard that. Replay this, send this to your family and friends, because this is what they need to have. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So Dr. Dorsey, are you guys going to have it anywhere else besides inside of Maryland? Will there be another fair going on in the month of maybe November or December?
Yes, absolutely. What we're doing is that outside of Maryland, we're leaving. So we're doing the 27th and 28th here. November 1st, we will be in Atlanta. November 2nd, we will be in Birmingham. November 3rd, we will be in Montgomery. November 4th, we will be in New Orleans. We take a break for a couple of days. And November 10th and 11th, we'll be in Houston, Texas. We'll be off for a month. And then in January, we'll be in Florida for a week.
Wow. What a schedule.
Yeah, it's an aggressive schedule.
That's very aggressive. Yes.
So can you give us numbers of how many people?
Yeah, what happened in Pennsylvania, New Jersey?
Go ahead. She was asking a question about Pennsylvania.
I was asking about Pennsylvania.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Will y'all be making a journey to Pennsylvania or New Jersey?
For New Jersey?
Will you be going to New Jersey or Pennsylvania? Is that in the schedule somewhere in the future?
Well, again, when we put the schedule is usually put together like in July, because colleges start making a decision as to where they want to go in July. So as we finish this year, for us, the academic year finishes the first week in February, because then colleges are processing all the applications that they've been picking up all of these months. They process them and they start handing out the scholarships in March and April and May. So they typically not traveling then unless they're looking at working with juniors, being able to take a look at that. So our schedule is really from August. We start traveling in August until the end of February. And again, we start putting that schedule together in like March, April. So by the first week of June, which is their sort of fiscal year where they make decisions on their budgets, okay, we have our schedule together then. So any new place that we want to go, we have to be able to vet it, making sure that we're going to be able to get enough students, that we have the venue. And so I travel all over, making sure that anybody new that wants to be a new place that wants us to be there, that we can see the pros and cons. And for the colleges too. I mean, I can say I want to be there, but if it's somewhere that the colleges are not necessarily, wanting to show up, they want us definitely out in Vegas. Well, I got to make sure I got enough colleges that are going to definitely go out to Vegas, as opposed to me just saying we're going to go out there too. So it's a combination of, we need to take care of the colleges, but we also need to make sure we have the students.
And speaking of that, what's the average number of students that come and attend these events? What's the average?
What is the average number of
students that you get to come to the events that you all
the typical average number of the typical average number of students? We typically have about, on average, like 400 students. We have some places where we have 200 students, and we have some places like in Tampa, Florida, where we have 900 students. So we have about 400 students. That's typically what it is that we do. There are some places like in Houston, Houston is going to be so big. First of all, it's the 5th largest city in the country. And it is so big, we're going to have 2 days. Houston is going to be sending 500 students an hour on Friday through our process. So for 4 or 5 hours, 500 students an hour are going through. And that's just going through on Friday. And then on Saturday, they're going to be at the church. And then there's going to be another several hundred students. So we're looking for several thousand students in Houston. So.
Wow, that is amazing. So what type of coverage do you all receive when you're doing these things? Are you getting media coverage, or how you are putting it out there in terms of the community?
We need as much media coverage as possible, which is why I'm so thankful for Sisters Network getting it out there. I'm leaving here in 30 seconds to be able to do another radio interview. So I've done 2 radio interviews this morning. I'm going to do 2 this afternoon. We're going to do 4 next week, being able to take a look at that. We've been doing interviews, again, like I said, I do this across the country. So we do a lot of interviews across the country, and being able to get this done. So I'm speaking at church in Baltimore tomorrow. So the church in Baltimore. So wherever anybody, as Charlene knows, she's been following us around. I'm at the churches, I'm at the high schools, I speak to the PTA meetings. You tell me that you need me there, okay, then that's what it is that I try to do to get the word out.
Well, we're going to have you to come back on to do a follow-up and give us a post conversation on how everything turned out for all of the markets. And we want to hear that big number, because there's a
okay. I'm so ready to tell it to you.
I know you are.
I think it's going to be bigger than 2022, Laura. Like, we did $15 million in 2021 or 2022? What, I forgot the dates now. It's all running together, but I think it's going to be pretty huge. I think we're going to be very shocked. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, before you leave, we know that you have to leave shortly. We're going to show this quick video before you leave, so that everyone will know exactly where we are with what you're doing. So here we go.
Okay. Thank you.
Horace Scholars. Scholarship chase. Gary in the race. Gotta get to the bag. Ain't no second place. Come up with a plan. I need at least 40 grand. When I show up to the fair, they gon' put it in my hand. Scholarship chase. I'm all up in your face. Going school to school to school. Going state to state to state. Horace Scholars gonna show you how to win the race. Get your paperwork straight, cause it ain't no time to waste. Coming to a city near you.
Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So, Dr. Lori, we just know you're doing the work. We appreciate you. And we see right there that you all are everywhere. And that
everywhere
is a testimony to what's the work is being done and how our students can be educated. Our community. This is about our people, our community, and the parents that are being able to send their kids to college. Because I know when they see that money come across that stage, they are like gleaming and beaming to know there is a God.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you all so much for having me. I know our team is out in the community right now, making sure that they get the information out. So I'm here representing them, and then we're going to go off and do a couple of other shows. But thank you so much for taking the time to showcase what it is that we're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Have a great one.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Well, that was good. That was filling. But yeah, so we got a lot of work to do to get the more information out, because we hope we pack the house. Well, I think we are going to pack the house, but you kind of want, if you got people out there that are seniors in high school, you really need to be there in the Baltimore area or the Maryland area, which is Lanham. So I know we're going to be there, and my son and my goddaughter is a 12th grader, so she definitely has to be there. She's probably clueless, because no mother can ever talk to their child, so to speak. So it's best that an auntie or other people start talking to them. Why is that so weird? Like, why do they listen to other people before they listen to us? Like, what's that about? What is that about?
They won't know till they get there.
Anyway, so we'll be there.
Yeah. What'd you say, Lynn?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I
think that was Charlene.
No,
but that is true. Even when we were growing up, we didn't want to listen to our parents. So it's always that second tier that you have to go to get the information, and especially if it's someone they admire and look up to. So yeah, that happens. But most importantly, we all have to learn to listen, especially our kids. Y'all got to listen to whoever tells you something. Hey, take it with a grain of salt and believe it's true, and you need to work. We wouldn't tell you anything less than that. You know, we love you and we want you to be successful.
Dante, do you have the website that we just showed? Because there are people out here that may want to participate and they need to have the website. So if you have the website that we can grab and put it on the screen, that'll be very, very helpful, because there are people who will be coming back watching this and they see this, or we're going to be pushing about this scholarship education, right, that's going to be happening. There you go. People, just write it down.
Take a picture of it.
And go on this site if you have any questions.
Take a picture of it. Yeah. Post the picture again.
Right.
Because this is so important to our community and our people. Because if they're not ready now, like this particular go round, they may be ready the next go round.
Right. And you heard the qualification. That's what I wanted to make sure they came out. You gotta be ready and have those things in your hand when you come to the college fair.
It's all about preparation.
It's all about preparation. Yes.
It's all about preparation.
And trust me, we saw checks, $50,000 checks. I never forget, I saw an $81,000 check this child got. Oh my God. They are putting, the money is there. You just have to put forth the effort and ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you won't receive it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it looks like Charlene is moving around to go to her.
Yeah, I'm gonna be walking just a little bit because I'm supposed to be introducing or grabbing the flowers, guys. So this is about education too. Staying on the go, and this is what we're constantly
education
doing,
on location.
Always. And I'm like, I tried. They're like, it's time for you to go. So anyway.
Well, Charlene, look, we're going to have next week a guest. I think we're going to be at the event next week. So we got to talk about what's happening, because that's our entrepreneurship. Thank you, Dee, our entrepreneurship week segment. So that's going to be, because Entrepreneurship Day is like November the 1st. And they're going to be celebrating entrepreneurs on next week into November 1st. So we're going to talk about that. But I believe we're going to be at the scholarship fair on next week as well. So we're going to have so much to share when we come back on to talk about everything and how it's going.
You know, I like to, we're talking of mental illness. Today is down at the monument, down at the Lincoln Memorial, there's going to be the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. There's a walk today. My sorority is participating in it. I plan to go. I think I'm going to go down. I feel better. So I'm going down to the walk, and everything begins. It's an evening walk, and I'm going to go so that I can get some information to bring to the show on suicide and our children. And so just want to let everyone know it begins today around 2:30. You go and sign up. And then from there you go. The walk doesn't start until in the evening, about 4 o'clock, 4:30. So there are things going on downtown here in Washington, D.C. for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. It's a walk. So just Google it, and all the information will be there for you.
Wow.
We have a lot that's going on.
Yeah. And that's happening today.
It's happening. Yeah, it's happening today.
Yeah.
And we're going to be, if you go down there, definitely to see what you can do to, put 4SistersLIVE and see who you can get, because some of
that's exactly why I'm going down. Yeah. I like to walk. Go ahead down there for the walk. The walk is not, and our sorority chapter, we're going to be there. We're going to do. You could also do a virtual walk for this as well. So that's why I say go ahead and Google. And if you want any additional information, you can contact me as far as our virtual walk, which we'll be doing I believe, I'm not sure yet, the following week. But I'm going down there for the real deal. I want to be a part of it. It's so important because I heard on the news about how they draw our children in through the internet and cause them to do things that makes them ashamed of themselves, to the point that they commit suicide. And they had 2 young children on the news this week. And this is the reason: the two boys, they didn't even know each other, but they got sucked in through the internet, showed their bodies, and then they got they said, if you don't send us some money, we're going to show your parents. And next thing you know, we're going to put that word out. And next thing you know, the kids were so upset and didn't know what to do, so they committed suicide.
Really?
Yes. So this is happening, and it is serious.
Wow.
Lord have mercy. We just
that's
have
what
to
they're
pray.
doing. They threaten him.
They threaten them. They think they're talking to kids, and they're talking to predators.
Yeah, and they do it on purpose, and then they find themselves trying to actually now investigators. I know one time Sisters Network brought in detectives of child pornography, where they would dress up. The policemen would be the teenage person that's engaging the child predator, right? And making them think that they're actually talking to them, and they will arrest them. So there are a number of cases right there. So again, Sisters for Sisters Network is definitely providing that information to the community, and we need to probably do that again, because it opened my eyes that we don't know who our children are talking to, and
we
it
don't.
can be detrimental
Can't be around
to
them.
our home. Yeah, because one of the predators actually came to the house of the son, and the detective was able to stop him right there in the track. So it was a woman detective that looked like a little girl. Like, it was so amazing. But this is happening right there in the Prince George's County area. So,
Wow. Well, we know what type of world we're living in. This is what's happening, and I'm just so grateful that we're able to share what we need to share on this platform, ladies, because people need to start being awake. To wake up. They say, wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed.
That's right.
It's time to think, and it's time to think ahead.
It is.
Because
And thank you. The National Suicide Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Please write that down. If you know any young people, old people, anybody who's in trouble mentally, and you think they're saying they're going to commit suicide, we need to call this hotline, the National Suicide Hotline, 1-800-273-8255.
and can I say one more thing? Because in our community, African American community, I want to say, don't be afraid to get therapy, and don't be afraid to encourage your young people to go get therapy, so that they won't have to deal with situations like this. They can actually talk to someone who may be threatening them. If they can't talk to their parents, they can talk to a therapist, and they can get the proper law enforcement involved, the attorneys, whoever, it's social workers or whoever needs to be involved. But we need to tell our children it's okay to go talk to a therapist. And if you can't talk to the counselor at school, which is sometimes not as good, sometimes, because they may judge you and your family. So start telling your children it's okay to pick up that line and call 988 for mental health challenges. Mental health does not mean suicide all the time. It can be depression. Right. It can be shame. It can be a number of things, but get to learn what those signs are. If you're a young adult that's listening, a teenager, or even a junior high, please research for yourself and understand what it is. And you're not alone, and there's no need to be ashamed. So anyway, I thought I'll share that.
Yes, call 988 for mental health challenges. 988 for mental health challenges.
Well, with that being said, we've had a good show. Thanks for hanging out with us, Charlene.
Thank you.
I tried. I was trying to make this a good show, so thank you all.
It was a great show.
Yeah. Always a good show when we're sharing good information and we're trying to help the people in the community, no matter what. We try to bring the information. It's the information is power, and this is what we're doing, bringing the information.
Especially when you use it.
Especially when you use it.
Guys.
All right, guys, it's been a great time. So what time is it?
It's time for you to walk
in your
purpose and prosperity.
Thanks for watching.
Week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed week.